Okay, so we're up and working. Yay. All right, let's see what we want to do here. All right, let's play the animation that we have so far. Today we're gonna start on Pari rumbling, and give me a second. Just have to let my webcam know it's not allowed to see me. Not that you guys can see me, but hey. Yeah, so we're animating a 5-second interaction between Enya and Pari, which I've been trying to figure this out all week because I did Enya's roughs first. And so the issue I'm running into is that Pari is distinctively, there we go, words. Pari is distinctively shorter than Enya. And so now I'm trying to work out this height difference because what's happening here is actually that Enya is sitting on the wall of a fountain. There's a fountain behind her. And I know it doesn't look like it because of the background, but we're not doing that just yet. So when Enya stands up, and I'm gonna do that. So when Enya stands up, Pari grabs her. But I don't know if you guys have seen the height difference between Enya and Pari. I might just have to do that and bring the opacity way up. So if I zoom in on this height difference is serious. And the fountain is already below Enya. And so I have been trying to figure out all week a feasible way for Pari, being the short little munchkin that she is, to essentially grab Enya and pull her back into this fountain. I don't want her to grab Enya's skirts. I'm distinctly trying to get her to grab Enya's shoulders. So we basically have this animated in, or roughed in. And so my theory of all of this is, I believe what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Pari, because she's in the fountain presently, she's going to swim here, pop out like Chucky. Yeah. So we're gonna have her pop out like Chucky when Enya's about right here, and then grab, let me turn this layer off, and then grab Enya by the shoulders and pull her back. So I'm gonna take a lot of liberties with what she is. Hi, hey Fireson. Yeah. What's up? Thanks for stopping by. So, where was I? I'm reading your comments, but they come to me delayed, so if I don't respond for a bit, it's not that I'm ignoring you, I just haven't seen it yet. So yeah, what we want to have is essentially, I'm going to make liberal use of squash and stretch for Pari's animation. Enya's animation is more realistic. She's a little bit more aggressive as a character, as you can see here. And she's actually screaming, "Hey you" right now, or rather shouting. So you can see Enya is she's aggressive. She's a little aggressive munchkin. And so let's get started on animating Pari. I'm gonna keep, now that I have that up, I'm gonna keep them there. Probably bring that opacity down so that it's not in the way. And I'm gonna put it below everything so I can see what I'm doing. So the first thing we want to do, because we have all of Enya's rough keyframes out already, is that I'm in Crystal, so I'm going to, or rather, I've created a new layer group for Pari. So Enya's will consist of her body, which is in red, her hands are on a separate layer, her expressions are also on a separate layer, and her hair is on a separate layer. And the reason I do this is that we are going to have, give me a second, I just got a notification. The reason I do that is that it makes it easier for sorry. Okay. I don't know. I'd have to check, which probably means that you're vaguely in my memory, but maybe not. Or it could be mixing you up for somebody else. Why, have you been here before? Or did you like change your name to trick me? Because a lot of my viewers do that because they know I'm not as tech savvy. While you're at that, so I'm gonna flesh in Pari's roughs while I wait for you to tell me. Okay, tablet, come on, work. Okie dokie, so Krita is giving me some issues. Give me a sec while I fight for Krita. It's not recognizing my tablet. So I'm just gonna leave the animation playing while I work out. Okay, there we go. Are you from Ravenna Side's stream? Hold on. You probably are. Let me see. Well, if I'm remembering you, you should be. Okay. So, pause that. And let's go into Pari. So I'm gonna zoom out, and you can do that with your mouse wheel. And we're going to hit Pari's body layer. Make sure that your color is what you think it's going to be. Enya's body is in red, so I don't really want to make Pari's body layer red because it's going to overlap with those lines. So I'm actually going to use the same blue that I used for Enya's hair. And now, let's see, clicking on this, we're gonna go. So this is the very first panel, and I'm gonna put Enya really rough. She's there. I'm gonna put Pari right here. So right now I'm only doing stick figures to get a feeling of where I want them to be, and then I will flesh out the and so at around here I'm thinking I want Pari here. Okay, so Pari is here, and I'm just roughing out various edges. I'm gonna take, not even gonna, okay, this is me trying to remember swimming. And Pari can only swim in this fountain because she's so small. That is the 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's a grand subtotal of Pari. She doesn't have her prosthetics on here. So that's another thing to know. Pari's prosthetics aren't on right now. Mostly because some prosthetics have material that absorbs water, and so I don't think it would be feasible. Which actually makes my problem a lot worse. So I think I'm actually going to need another keyframe in between these two, and it's actually Pari going here. So she's here, she's gonna turn that way. Here she's at the in-between point, which is like so. And right now I'm only doing like a head with a line. I'll fill all of that in later. I'm just blocking out her movement. So it is there. And at this point, I want her here. Maybe not there. Okie dokie. And so, having blocked out this movement, we can already see, or rather I can already see that where I projected her body to be with the line isn't going to work out. So those keyframes in terms of the perspective of her body isn't going to work out. So we have here, here, here. At this point, this keyframe isn't working, and so we're gonna do that. And I'm gonna do more of a curve on that one. Come back here. That frame isn't supposed to be there. I think maybe I'm gonna erase that as well. Okay. Alright, sorry guys, I was just thinking a bit on what to do here. So this is the animation here. I'm going to scroll all the way back, and I'm going to delete that keyframe. So I'm going to remove that. And I'm going to remove this. So here. All right. So this is that. I believe actually I'm going to move this keyframe to here. So this is the middle of the turn. Actually, let's do that, bring that back. All right, so what I'm thinking is that kind of turn. So here, here, to there. And so this keyframe right here has to be a sort of in between these. And I'm gonna regret this turn later. I can already tell, but I can already sort of tell I'm going to regret this turn later. And so I'm not even going to bother to pretend like it's not gonna hurt me. Yikes, what the hell is that? Okay guys, so currently, there we go. I've just gotten rid of a small annoyance in the form of a fly. There we go. So we're here. Down, down, down. There. And so I'm gonna just play that really quickly. And I want it to stop at 40, so I'm gonna stop it at 40. All right. Okay, and that's our little stick turn. That's gonna be the rough keys. And then we're gonna go here. So at this point, we're gonna have Pari sort of mirror Enya's posture. So we're gonna have from there to you're kind of weightless in water, so maybe I don't want to do this one. I think what I want to do is sort of, yeah, I'm gonna do this frame because I know exactly what's happening on this frame. So Pari is this is the frame where Pari essentially grabs Enya. So I'm gonna start from her hands since that's the. When would you stop? Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna start from this frame because I know exactly what Pari's hands are going to have to do. And I'm only drawing them in vaguely because I'm going to put her hands in a completely separate layer. But for the sake of figuring out where her body is, so we've got that. And the way I worked this out, given how much shorter than her Pari is, this is gonna have to be a very acrobatic movement. So or rather to make for an interesting animation, this will be a very acrobatic movement. So I'm having essentially a figure 8 sort of motion, Enya is going to go that way, and Pari is going to go that way. So they're making the same motion, just in opposite directions. Let me see. What am I looking at? Right? And so it's that kind of movement. We're gonna have Pari sort of here, and this skeleton is already rather wrong. I'm gonna move her shoulder blades there. And this is before I put anything else into this. So we've got that. Now between these two frames, I have to figure out how she gets into that position. Right. I didn't realize how close these frames are. But the first thing is she's going to need a lot of momentum to get into that position. So this is how we're going to work out her movement. She's going to need an outstanding amount of motion. For propulsion, I guess. Okay, so what are we gonna do here? We're gonna go, so she's here. At this point, I think I want Pari to pop her head up. And yeah, you're just gonna pop her head up here, and it goes there. And at this point, let's go with, I'm actually gonna create another. Nope, let's not. I'll just do this as a rough draft, and then I'll draw her body and everything on another layer. But we want her hands here. This frame will have to be moved back in order to give me enough timing. So we're here. Our hands are here. And I'm going to need enough time for anticipation. So this particular might go here. And I have more free real estate over here. So we're gonna do that. So Enya leans forward, Pari pops up. I believe this might be a waste of a frame. Because, no, that's not a waste of a frame. This is the frame where Enya moves her hand, and so that's the only frame Pari can put her hand there. And then Enya goes up. At this point, I want Pari also to be up. So we've got up. At Actually, maybe this frame doesn't go like this. I still want this movement, but I think maybe her flip shouldn't happen there. I think probably if I do it like this and Pari pops up like Chucky, so we go whoosh. So here, here. Oh, I should insert my keyframe, that's what's happening. And I need to remove and pull that one. So I think I've said this before, Krita automatically creates your holding frames for you. And so whenever you're adding a keyframe in between, or rather as far as I've seen, whenever you need to add a keyframe, you kind of have to remove the keyframe and pull so that you don't shift any other keyframes you might have drawn ahead, and then insert the keyframe. Otherwise, you can erase what's on the holding frame and then draw your keyframe, but that might be a bit more work. So we're gonna come here. So from here to here. And it's, since we have the hands there, is that a big enough difference? Let's check. All I gotta do is check. Oh, it would help if I didn't have this ending on 40 still. So let's move it to 60 and play. Okay, so the movement is definitely there. I don't have any anticipation on it, so it's not as So I don't have any anticipation on it, so it's not working as well. But other than that, I think it's a good rough layout of. So Pari comes from right, stage right, turns, and the reason she swims past Enya is simply because of this frame right here where Enya actually looks to her left. So this is Enya's left. Enya looks to her left, and so if Pari is there, it's really, really weird if she doesn't see Pari in the fountain. So that's why at this point I want Pari on her right, her being Enya. So we do that. At this point, I believe Enya has begun to commit to her action, or rather the mindset that she's in is that she has begun to commit to the action she's about to perform. She's going to call out to this person. And so by the time she would notice Pari, it's already too late. She's going to get dunked in this fountain. So there we go. So this is Pari right here. And this swinging motion was really just to give myself some time to get Pari to get her hands onto Enya. So we're gonna actually do more like a leapfrog motion. So the contact position should be here. And I have their anatomy here. I do believe Pari's hands are long enough for this. So I'm gonna get myself a reference of someone leapfrogging. I don't think. Okay. It's a little bit harder to do because most people are crouching down, but it can happen. So we're gonna do it like so. I'm gonna draw Pari first. So it's here. Oh right, these are the hold frames. And I think I want it to be this frame because the very next frame is that. So let's do it here. And Enya's keys are distinctly different from Pari's. Different motions have different keys. So one mistake that I made a lot when I first began animating, remove keyframe. Yeah, one mistake that I made a whole lot was always matching the keys of each character instead of working out the motion individually. And what it did was it created a rather boring animation to watch because everything was moving at the same time with the same spacing, and there was really no difference of tempo or rhythm. So that was something that there we go. This kind of give me a second looking at my reference just to make sure I'm getting this right. So I said Pari wasn't wearing her prosthetics, so she has to do this with her hands. And guys, if you ever get the chance, type leapfrog game into Google and click person. You'll see some of these images are weird. Like super weird. So we're gonna have Pari here. And since these are roughs, this is a there. Okay, so Enya's like that. And we want the so I want to see, okay. This is contact, so we're gonna just do this. The hands, this is the wrong position. That key is going to happen, but that's the wrong position. What we need is the motion. So I'm gonna get T, grab that and move it down, hit E, and her hands need to bend, so and now for that key that I just erased, I'm gonna do almost like so. Okay, so I erase that, hit T, and move that up. I'm gonna transform it, rotate it just a little bit. B, and now I'm going to bring it back down. Hit the brush tool. All right, and this is where we're at. At this point, all of Pari's non-existent weight is on Enya's shoulders. Or I shouldn't say non-existent weight because Pari has prosthetics. So I keep forgetting. So she's really being grabbed right here. That's not where the wrist is. Wrist. So here. Alright, so that's 1, 2, and just checking my reference again. Pari's feet are like that. Alright, and let's run that. Make sure the timing is right. Okay, so something's missing. Let's see what it is. There is either keyframe or key motion missing. There. Okay, oh, I know what it is. So this is where it grabs. What we're missing in between these two frames, there's a key missing, is the transitional frame for her hands. So we're here, and since I'm gonna put it about halfway, I'm gonna do the other alternative. If you have very little on the layer, it's really easy to just erase it and then to draw the keyframe. Since these two are between here, I'm gonna put it right here. And let's see. The next frame is there. So I need to decide if we're going up and over or just straight. I don't really have a lot of workable space right here. So for the sake of clarity, we're gonna do like so. I'm gonna draw a line coming like that. That line is going to represent the path that this arm is taking. Actually, I'm gonna move that elbow down some more. The bend isn't as strong, so let's move that elbow down to like there. And there we go. So I'm turning that off so I can see how this, yup. There we go. All right, and let's play that. All right, so I'll need to put in the anticipation. so that you get the feeling that she goes down before she goes up, preparing for that leap. But we're there. So I'll need 2 anticipations. I'll need one for this movement right here. So where she goes down and then up. And then I'll need another for here. She goes over. I will probably take a reference video of myself. I'll con one of my friends into letting me do leapfrog. And then we'll see how that goes. Pray I don't hurt myself, because it's been years. And so that is Pari. She's like just using these hands. So we're gonna do roast for Pari today. I'm not gonna do, because this is perspective coming towards me. That's good foreshortening right there. I'm just gonna move to the next major key, which is the release frame. Each of these is a direction. And after this moment right here, Enya is no longer the key character. So your focal character after this is Pari. So after here, at this moment, Pari becomes your focal character. So Enya's space, even though I drew the expression in, important, but not as important as Pari's face in this moment. Which is something you should keep in mind when you're animating. Who is your most important character? Who do you want the audience to focus on the most? For example, if the audience only saw one thing in your scene, what would that one thing be, and would it communicate your story? So at this point, Enya's distraction. At this point, Pari's expression, which in this case is going to be glee, unholy happiness, you know, the kind of things your friends usually love to do to you. If your friendships are nice and prank free, send your friends my way. I could use some prank free friendships. Alright, and so there's that. So now I have to figure out what I'm going to do. I did say I wanted that motion. So she leapfrogs over. Do I want her to... I do want a more interesting motion than just that. Because right now, if I were to draw the motion for Enya, issue would have been here. Actually, let me go. I'm still working on drawing spacing charts. I don't fully understand them yet. So there, and that spacing needs fixing. So it's something like that. And I have to slow down that spacing so that you get the feeling of her coming over. So like so. And then she's going to land. Whereas Enya went doop. So she took slightly more curved path. So Pari is a complete curve over, and Enya is a series of quick curves. So she's there, and then she is there, using that as the ground level. Pari goes from here, and then she comes over. I don't know if those two motions contrast enough to be entertaining to watch, but I'm gonna try. So let's do that first. And then if it's not entertaining, I just erase the stick figures and try again. So there. Yeah. Gotta make sure I get everything. It's over here. I'm really keeping track of. Okay. That is when Pari pushes off. That moment right there is when Pari pushes off. At this moment, she's sort of building momentum. So she's sort of grabbed on. That's the slow build up. This moment, Enya doesn't really have much choice in the matter. She's going. So this is our moment of truth. And I'm gonna see if I can't find a leapfrog game. All right. Alright, so there's one here. It's not the leapfrog, I know, but the Koreans have apparently taken it to a new level. But I got the information I wanted from the video before I do my own crazy version of leapfrog. So let's see. Turn back on onion skin. There is a key that I have to put in here. So keyframe, insert. So right here. So this is a push off. But this is going to be an overall slow process. So we're going to go here, and I'm going to turn the onion skin off on. I'm going to remove the future frames and the back frame so I can just see what's happening. So Enya's head didn't really move much. However, her body goes down. Or rather, I'm looking at the wrong frame. I need the frame in front. So Enya's body doesn't really move here, which means Pari's hands can't move as much as I thought they did. So we're gonna come in here. I'm going to draw just a little bit of motion there. And in fact, perhaps I should draw I should be drawing is the projected path. That's the projected path. And so that's where Pari is going. We're gonna move her shoulders just a bit. So it's hunched shoulders, so I need to actually move Pari's shoulders up in the last frame. And more relaxed shoulders, arms come in. And with the amount of force Pari would be putting in, her fingertips or her fingers would still be on Enya's shoulders in this moment. I'm not even gonna play. Let's see, let's go. What the? Okay, somehow I managed to select the purple color of the back. And hold on. All right, give me a sec. I'm gonna have one of Pari's hands leave later than the other. Nope, I cannot do that. She would throw herself off of Enya, realistically. So I think maybe I will have one of her feet trail behind them. So we're going to do just like so. So there, and then at this point, since Pari is coming down that path, and I'm gonna draw it on this frame again too, so I never mistake where she's going. And let's get all right, so the frame that we're going to is there, and this is actually a mirrored motion. So there. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to go leapfrog over probably an Asak or something. So if you hear like something die, it's just me. Don't worry. Okay, so I did not kill myself, which is, or rather, I did not kill myself leapfrogging, which is really, really good. Because I'm old. And that's the only time you'll ever hear me say it. So, having actually done that, I think what I really want to do now is I'm not sure if this is the right frame, but what I want is for Pari to tuck her head this is where we get all these acrobatics coming in. So she's there. And I mean, I'm doing all of this animation now, but when I get into After Effects, I'm going to actually break up this scene so you can see Pari's face. So, we're here. And again, we're coming this way. So at this point, Pari's body is actually following this line. So here I need a leapfrog reference, so I'm going to videotape what I did just now later. And here I need a somersault reference. And I know this seems like a lot to have a child do, but I remember when I was younger jumping off staircases and stuff, so even if we're not capable, we have no fear of the things we do as children anyway. It's only when you get older you realize, oh, wait, I could actually kill myself, or I could actually hurt myself, you know, stuff like that. But go in here. And then I'm just gonna play it. Alright, so first thing I noticed is this is 60. So I want to bring that right back to 100. And let's see how it looks now. And I'm gonna slow down Pari's somersault so that you see it. Enya's is really quick, but as you can see, when we pause it on that last frame, and I take out all of these onion skins, they'll be in line with each other. So Pari's hands and Enya's body, they'll be in line with each other. And so Pari's gonna land here. After that, I'll need to figure out what we're doing, but that's where we're at right now. Okay, so we're there. And alright, so what I was doing just now was trying to measure where I want this to stop in terms of spacing. Alright, so here is looking about where I want it to end. So I'm gonna insert a keyframe here. Turn on back onion skin. And Pari is going to be landing, so we go think this through. We're gonna go there. So right here in this moment, and so in between here and here, we're going to have that mid frame. What did I just do? All right, move that down. Here. So now let's just find insert, move frame and pull. There we go. And we already want to be leaning more towards there. The thing with somersaults, if I remember correctly, is to keep your body tucked in until the very last moment so that you can put your feet directly under you. So this is actually wrong. So we're gonna do let's go there. Okay, so now I can see how this is working out. So there's that, there's hands, there's body, and then this frame. If I insert keyframe here, should be correct. So now we've got there we go. And that framing is complete. Now, the landing is too soft for all the momentum that we put into Pari. So we will have to worry, or we will have to we'll have to pick that up afterwards. but so far I think the timing is right. It's sort of slow, but I'm actually thinking I might want to make it slower just to really focus on the motion of Pari in that flip, just to kind of draw it out, maybe make it slow motion. So if I move that there, move that here, move that down there, and play that. Maybe 2 frames that way. All right, and all right. What I might do with having all of these is that when I get it into After Effects, what I might do with this particular layer is to scale it so that I can take advantage of that slow motion and really milk it for all it's worth. So what I need here is the landing. So this actually is wrong. I'm going to there. And I don't know why it changed. No, it didn't change color. There's there. So this is a squash and stretch motion. Down. Overshoots. Let's insert that keyframe there. I'm gonna remove that keyframe. And right here, insert a keyframe where it's just normal size. Bring that back up. And it still has a very delicate feel, but now you can kind of feel like a little bounciness to it. And I feel like it's too quick. So I'm gonna grab all of these keyframes, bring them back here. And what I might want to do is actually put some more emphasis on these. So there. I'm actually gonna erase that. And let's erase that. And we'll do little moments like this. All right, that's feeling better. Okay, and I think to communicate that momentum a little bit more, I am actually going to move her just a little. So let's try that now. And here, erase this. And let's get a good idea of what I'm looking at. One behind, one in front. Down. Okay, let's turn off the onion skin and let's see what's going on here. Turn it back on. All right, so I actually think perhaps I need to switch these two. So that's that. Nope, they were right before. I know what I'm trying to do now. So I kind of lost track of my animation. All right, make sure I'm in the right tool. Yeah, that's what I meant by not really communicating the momentum. So there. And I'm actually gonna, same height, just move it back. Okay, so let's check how that looks. All right, so her head goes forward, and that looks like a pretty good rough of that looks like a pretty good rough out of Paris movements. And so I'm gonna save that. Oh, okay. So if any of you are watching from Jamaica, I just got, we're having something of a film and animation festival down in downtown Kingston tomorrow. And that's Harbor Street, Kingston. They're having film, documentaries, indie films, and animation. And I'm also concerned about the animation, but if you're really into indie films, seeing what Jamaica is making, then you'd want to find yourself down at Kingston Creatives Art Walk and Market Street tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. And they're going to be having animations such as Agwe, Abiku and the Maroons, Kina Sky, Tale of Shadows, Restaurant Fuss, Ideas, Dinosaurs for Kids, Stoplight Hustle, Pigeon School, The Passenger, and Cam Cam. So a few of these you would have heard me mention. Agwe is a production that I had the privilege of working on. It's by, give me a second, because I'm only seeing like half of this. It's by Eno. But I'm trying to get the names of everybody else, because it would kind of be favoritism if I just mentioned one and didn't mention the other, right? And I'm trying my best not to be biased. I'm not sure how much it's working, but I try my best. So, let's see. So I think we've got two by Coretta here, which is, okay. We've got Agwe by Ina Sotirova, sorry. Abiki and the Maroons by Night Vision Media. Kina Sky by Coretta Singer. Tale of Shadows by Coretta Singer. Restaurant Fuss by Kmar McInnes. Ideas by Kmar McInnes. Dinosaurs for Kids and Stoplight Hustle by Robert Reed. Pigeon School by Nicholas Wellington. The Passenger by Robert Reed. And Cam Cam by Listen Me Caribbean. So if you really want to see what Jamaica is doing in terms of film and animation, you would want to find yourself down at 107 Harbor Street. That's the F&B parking lot at 11 a.m. so that you can get a good idea of what's going on in our industry. And that's been my public service announcement. So we're gonna have alright, and so while Pari is doing this somersault, this slow motion somersault, I'm thinking of having Enya do in slow motion as well, because I think the difference would be too jarring. Any day I figure out how, just do it. So we have there, and then we'll have Enya hair, dress, shoes and all with a slow motion of her in the water. Here we will have the water effects of splashing, but we'll do that after we finish. This is basically the rough out of Pari. So I'm actually gonna change this layer name from body to roughs, or extreme roughs. And then I'm gonna create a new layer. And now that's gonna be body. So here I just worry about Pari's fleshed out. And going to change the color. I will change the color to purple. And since I changed it to purple, I will change. Oh, it's a different purple. So now I'm gonna go in here and just basically go over this with some sketches of Pari and really work out perspective and everything else. And since this is live, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pari is 5 heads tall, so honestly I should probably bring her down to there. But that's only if she has her prosthetics. Without her prosthetic, she's 4 heads tall, so let's go with 4. I'm not even going to worry about her clothes right now. I'm just gonna draw her body. Reason being is that clothes moves very specifically. Clothing, there we go. Clothing moves very specifically underwater, and I really don't want to have to think about all of that right now while I'm trying to work out perspective. So I know for a fact that what she does is this sort of spiraling motion there, and so I'm actually going to put in another keyframe right here, changing my color to blue, and that keyframe is going to be of her using her hand to pivot. Because when you move underwater, if you want to make sharp turns, then you're basically throwing your body weight around because you don't have that much control. So this, oh, I have 3 vanishing points here. I should probably use them. This is where she is. And so if I do that, I'm actually going to put this as show in timeline. I'm going to take Enya's expressions out of the timeline. Her hands, which are not finished, so I'll leave those. I'm going to remove her hair. And because I am using her body as the reference, I'm gonna leave that so that I can easily select from that timeline layer. One moment, guys. Okay, and so I'm going to, yeah. And so we're here, working that out. and her body, which I'm going to click. Make sure that that box is ticked so that when I click off the layer, it doesn't disappear from the timeline. And now I've got 4 layers to work with in my timeline. 2 for Enya, which are her hands and body. Enya's hands are not yet finished. I didn't want to finish those not knowing exactly where Pari's hands were going to be. And so now that I know roughly where Pari is and what she's about, I can make sure that Enya's hands don't actually impede Pari's movement over her. And that works out to there. Alright, so since I know that, what that's about, I did not make that a keyframe, and so I'm going to insert the keyframe now, but I want to keep that. So what I'm going to do is edit, copy it, and then insert the keyframe. And move it into position there. Then I'm going to insert another keyframe. Okay guys, I messed up. This little thingy is actually supposed to be on another layer. So what I'm gonna do there is go into the toolbox, get the selection tool, and just edit, cut that bad boy right out, move to that layer, edit, and paste. Now that paste is Control Z. So there, we move that into place, move it down. In the layers option, we will move it to roughs. And unlike Photoshop, when you merge in Krita, it takes the name of the bottommost layer and not the topmost layer. So that's the complete opposite of what happens in Photoshop. You press Control Shift A to deselect everything. And then now you have, without disturbing the rest of your keyframes, you have inserted a keyframe from another layer. So we're here, and then we move here. So I'm actually going to copy that, paste from clipboard, pasted it in, and then in this layer now, I can just erase because I made another mistake. That wasn't actually supposed to be in this layer. So now that we've done that, we've got that. So now that I have this here, I can take this and erase it off this layer. Switch to the pencil, finish that up, and now we've got good stuff. So there. Okay, so I have a problem now because it merged to every layer. Alright, so obviously I still have more to learn about Krita, but lucky for me, I drew stickmen, so I'll just go through really quickly and just save myself future trouble. One moment, please, guys. Alright, so I have cleared the remaining layers. And give me a sec. Getting more references for swimming underwater. And this is a reference I kind of have to get from YouTube because I don't have a waterproof camera. And so I have this down, and I'm looking at how to turn in shallow water because there is a technique for it. It's let's see. So it's a bit harder than just what I've drawn. So and this is a little bit more technical. I'm looking for shallow water, more like beach water, or so on and so forth. All right. All right, so I found a reference that I think can work, and it's called Swimming in a Water Tunnel. And this looks to be at the Carpenter Park Recreation Center in, let's see, Texas. All right, so this is by the YouTuber Elizabeth Swims. And so this is looking like a really good reference for Pari. It's got lots of angles. She seems to be about the same age that I want Pari and Enya to be, so this is really good. There seems to be a current in the tunnel. but this is also giving me an idea of how fast Pari's legs have to move. Because, like I said, double amputee, she's really kicking, but it doesn't have as much strength as usual. So let's go in here, and I'm going to put the keyframe right here. I'll deal with that later. And just making sure I switch back to the color I need and that I'm on the right layer, which is the body layer. And yeah, so we're there. So we're here. And this is foreshortening to the extreme because one of her heads is actually right behind her, the third one is here, and the fourth one is here. And so what you're seeing right here is, give me a second, let me turn this on. So that leg's up, up, down, up, down. I'm just gonna put the other leg up just to show. Just to show a change. So this leg goes down and that leg goes up. If that leg goes up, I need to change the angle of this hip completely. So 1, 2, we're dealing with forehead. So half of our body is here, the other half is here. We're actually seeing the end of the third head right here. And so there. And then that one's actually down. I might change this later. As I get more and more references for the movement, but this is where it's going to be now. And so let's go back here. There's that. And instead of putting her hand across here, I'm assuming she puts this arm down, swings that way, and ends up on that arm. So a better transitional position for this arm might actually be reaching already here. So like so. And then coming this way, so this is sort of a rise. I probably should have indicated that more on her spine. That's sort of a rise because if I distinctly remember, so that's more like that. To follow the shape of her spine. This is going to become her arm bending. So there will be an in-between there that shows that going that way. Her other arm is coming from here. If she is moving with as much force as I think she needs to, while still trying to be quiet enough that Enya doesn't realize she's there, then both arms are going to be down. And that will give me enough space to make this movement slow enough that it doesn't look like it should sound loud, but fast enough that she gets to this position. So while we're here, let's turn this off for a bit actually. Okay, I know what happened. So you're just gonna remove the frame and pull, insert the keyframe left, and turn those roughs back on. And you just remove that keyframe. Alright, so insert keyframe. Remove frame and pull. I am having an issue here in that this keyframe is already occupied. One, two, that's why it's locked. I can't make any edits to it because it's locked. There we go. I'm not quite sure how that happened, but we're here. So I'm gonna just remove the keyframe completely. And now I will insert a keyframe here. And we're back on track. So there we go. We're here. And now this is the halfway point of those 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the halfway point. 3 is where her hips are. So this is the end of her torso right here. That's her neck. And now taking advantage of her shoulder blades, it would help if her hands were connected to her shoulder. Oh, hey, Pac. Oh. Okay. That makes sense now. I feel bad. Feels bad, man. Sorry. So he is from Rave's group. It disappeared. Hold on a sec. Now I feel bad. What? Alright, so what have you been up to? Let's see. I was trying to figure out, it's just like my brain went. Oh, that reminds me, now that I see you here, it's not done though, so wah. Still working on that portrait, but I'll show you guys where it is. I need to clean my laptop screen. The dust is giving my emojis eyebrows now. I think it's time to clean it. Okay. And so, yeah, we're here. So I'm just playing through the whole animation to get a feeling for how that timing is looking. I probably will turn the roughs off just to see how it looks without that. And I mean, it looked to be pretty fluid movement, maybe sort of ethereal. But oh, I'm referring to the reference, not my not my animation. It's really rough right now. Okay, so now that we've done that, I'm going to draw this last frame, make sure I'm on the right layer so I don't have to go through that layer business again. That's where her neck is. And draw that out. Oh, that won't bend that way. That's bone. That's bone, alright. So that's more of a plane. And I think I electrocuted a fly earlier. I think its friend came to visit. Okay, and so that hand is going to have to figure itself out. Alright. Alright, so this went up and over, so I think that's going to be more down. And that leg went up, down, up. Yeah, let's just do down for this one. So that leg actually has to go in the direction of that vanishing point. So let's go that way. And then the other one similarly goes that way. I don't like that, so let's just Control Z. Control Z, the best friend of all artists. This is why I did rough stickman before. At this point, I'm just gonna hold the electric cracket off and hope it runs into it. So that's the spine, that's the stomach, that's the torso. Ah, I know why this looks weird to me. Your body doesn't bend that way. In order to get this position correctly, the spine is actually twisting something. It twists like that, but the head is not facing forward like I was thinking. It's facing that way. So it's like a 3/4 view to the back. So you're kind of like a 3/4 twist. There we go. I was wondering why it wasn't working. So that's more of a sideways movement than alright, and that hand actually begins to line up with that third vanishing point now. So I'm gonna break that elbow there. Since the spine is going that way, that's the end of her torso. Her shirt might go that way. It might actually be sucked onto her skin because the force is going that way. So that's the end of her torso. That's where her skirt is. I've given myself some really interesting challenges here that I really probably shouldn't have. And I'm gonna just leave that where it is. Am I talking to myself? Yes, I am. That's okay. Okay, there we go. Alright, so now that I know my next key is here, so I'm just going to insert the keyframe so that disappears afterwards. And let's play. Alright, and so when I'm compositing, having done this as one movement, I think I would do perhaps a close-up on this, not this moment right here, maybe around here. The Pari thing. Move. Mom. Okay, sorry about that. Just a little surprise for me. Yeah. And then we will have, I think I do a close-up of that. And then zoom out to follow Pari's leap and somersault. Here, just enough to keep Enya in the background. Okay, so let's see. Not too much, just schooling. Got about 3 weeks left of class. Hey, you're in the home stretch. Those are gonna be the hardest 3 weeks though, if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, if I'm remembering correctly, those are going to be the hardest 3 weeks. So, good luck, and don't be afraid to like disappear if you need to study. Finals are rough. I wish I had Fawn's little emojis. One of them has like a little like good luck thing. I would have liked to have used that right now, but I'm gonna use my regular old sharing emoji. Alright, so that's that, and now we're here. I'm gonna zoom in. Look at all those little stick figures. And I'm really seeing way too much of this, so I only need about 2. And actually in this case, maybe not even the first one. There. Alright, so now we're here, and coming from that sideways motion, I imagined it to have been frontways, but now I know it's sideways, so this rough might be wrong. Following that spinal movement, I want to have her look up, like so. So, keep track of where your target is if you're gonna play a prime. And now I'm gonna draw out a new spinal cord. So the motion I'm imagining is something like that. So now that so 1, 2, 3. There we go. That's where her neck is. And Pari has that giraffe neck. If you can't tell, this thing's a whole head long. It's a whole neck long. Okay, let's see. Alright, so Pari and her giraffe neck. That's where her hand is. At this point, we can get off the spot, so where are we? Yeah, that's enough frames to get it into that position. First I should probably identify the elbow before I start drawing positions. So the elbow is here. That's enough frames to get that from there to there. The idea is to start that movement where she goes up. So the other hand, and when you bend your elbow in the water, your body automatically goes down. So let's see, that's neck, that's the end of the torso, that's the end of the torso. So let's go there. That's pelvis region. That's her feet. Sans prosthetics. And so keeping track of that. And these are only temporary frames because I still need a reference of someone swimming without prosthetics, assuming I can find it. So we're here. And on the body frame, where is the next? Oh, it's right there. So we come here. And I really can't wait to get to Pari's expressions because they might be a little bit hard for me. I need to move this because I just realized this particular frame needs to be one frame behind. Why? Pretty simple. Enya's hand is still here. Enya doesn't begin to move her hand until... So we're here. This I'm going to move back 2 frames so I can move this back another 2 frames. Actually, I went in the wrong direction, guys. This needs to be... So this whole thing right here I need to start inserting some hold frames because where are you? No, it only needs to be around here, so I actually don't need to touch. So this particular frame goes here, and it needs to be after Enya moves. So this frame has to change. So what are you planning to do for the holidays, Pack? The wait, do you guys celebrate Thanksgiving? What are you gonna do for Thanksgiving? There we go. Okay, so I made another big mess, which is to say let's get rid of that. Need to start inserting my keyframes properly. There we go. This frame may have to move. This frame, I am thinking, might actually become yeah, this frame can't work. Enya would know. You would know if somebody's dripping wet head popped up beside you. So let's go. Let's remake this rough one. Okay, so let's see. Nothing crazy for Thanksgiving. Just eating with my immediate family at home. Last year we did it at my grandfather's in Delaware, but not this year. Oh, okay. That's pretty cool. We don't celebrate Thanksgiving down here. So the only thing I'm doing next week, Thursday... Actually, I don't even know that. So... But my feast doesn't come until Christmas. But if I'm assuming you're gonna just stay where you guys are now and just eat. Is the food usually good? Alright, so I'm gonna switch pencils. Gonna do that. And the next one, I'm gonna put it right here. Assuming, yep, I'm on the rough slayer. Okay, so from here, we're gonna have her extend that elbow. So she pops up here. Sort of. I'm still gonna move that just a little bit. So she pops up here. And I'll have to animate this about 3 times just to get it right. And her other arm is here. So we're not yet at... Nope. You noticed that too. We'll work. I'll work this out. We'll work this out. So we're here. Okay, so her hand is here. And then we've got our contact position, which is here. So this makes it a much quicker motion than I had actually thought it was going to be. All right. Okay, let's go. Let's read these now. Last year we did it at my grandfather's in Delaware, but not this year. Yeah, basically it's just an excuse to eat. I don't think anyone actually celebrate. I thought they were trying to get it changed with another holiday because of the culturally, socially aspects of it. But my mom and sisters are good cooks, so we be eating good. And I can't even say anything because I look forward to Christmas specifically for that reason. All the food. But this year I get my mom for Christmas. My mom's looking over here at me. She heard her name being called. This year get my mom, so I get my mom and good food. You don't understand, guys. I'm ecstatic. Okay. Alright. It's over here. Alright, so I know I animated all of this, but now I'm wondering if Pari being here distracts from Enya. Well, I'll see how it works. If she is distracting from Enya, then all I do is I make this wall opaque and you only see her when she pops up like Chucky. So let's go. Or perhaps like a cat. Cats are everywhere. Food is life. Yes, family for Christmas. So yeah. I mean this is basically where I'm at for today. I'm gonna complete the rough body rough out, and then I'll add all her features, hair, and the like. Once I've gotten the body roughs down, I'm going to get rid of this layer, or maybe I will clear it and use it for something else. But let's see, here, here, here. So let's come here. Oops, we're actually looking for this color. Now I can start doing that. Nope. I tried. It wasn't working. I'll focus on her expressions later. I'm just too eager for her expressions. And so... there we go. And I did say there needed to be an here. Says like our holiday party season basically starts from Christmas straight into February if you are a fan of Carnival. As well, you know, it occurs February, March, and so. And then that goes straight into all the other celebrations. So I guess we don't really have a lot of stuff because winter is our tourist season. So once we get into January, February, there's a lot of things going on in the Caribbean. Oh no, Carnival goes into February, early March. However you want to spell it. Carnival goes into February, early March. And that's more like the whole Caribbean and less of just Jamaica. That's more like tourist season starts up, all the parties start up, while the rest of you all are huddling in your snow. The Caribbean is getting ready to party. And it's not only us. I know New Orleans, Brazil, Italy. Yeah, Italy. Carnival's the same time. Wherever you hold it, it's the same time of year. Yeah. So we go into party mode, and Dorcia all go into hibernation, which is probably why our tourists, you come and visit us in this season. You're all coming to visit. Oh shoot, Azure on the wrong layer. Oh no. Okay, so I made a boo-boo. I made a real boo-boo. I drew you on the wrong layer. So I drew that on the wrong layer, but that's okay. Pari's shoulders are sloped to begin with. It's like, guys, you need a lot of fun in your life, and you should come. You should come party with us. That's what you should do. You should come party with us. I say that like I'm going to go out and party, which is probably not going to happen. So, more likely I'll be right where I am right here. I will enjoy the stories though, because those are fun. Alright, so we're here. I'm going to insert a keyframe right here. And I'm just going to trace over this lovely fellow right here. So trace over that lovely fellow. And then insert a keyframe here. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, we're fancy for Christmas. I'm sorry, guys. So, my mom's showing me all our fancy Christmas tableware. So, ooh, we're fancy for Christmas. Yay. You want to party at Carnival? Well, then you're coming to Jamaica as in carnivals down in Trinidad. Yes, you should come party. Come enjoy yourself. Uh, Go with a group though. Like, bring all your friends. In fact, you know what? Tony is up by my friend's up by Yui. So Yui has its own set of carnival. Yeah. Yui has its own set of carnival. So I can probably go to that one. It's less than the main one. It's less. It's something. It's less something. Let's go with that. It's less something. Alright, so okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. That. Two, 3, 3, 4. So she's about right there. No, not that Tony. Wrong Tony. Nope. No, or Tony is no, that Tony has a baby and you're right. There's no more party time for him. The only party he's getting is his baby parties. Hey, oh my goodness. I keep forgetting. No pack. I'm not bringing or Tony to Carnival. I don't want his wife to get upset with me, so I'm not inviting Tony to Carnival. Not at all. That's how I get myself into problems. Nope. Not doing it. Not doing it, man. That's how you get yourself into lots of problems. Okay. The next one is so in this instance, you kind of have to really have your hands by your side. I ain't talking about that's how I get myself into problems. See? Pack, you and Fawn do this, you all try to get me into trouble. This is what you and Fawn do and I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I refuse. Okay. Okay, so at this point in time, this scene is going to be hell for sound, because now I need to find the sound of wet cloth blowing in the breeze. Oh, what's going on? You see, that XD face tells me exactly, y'all know what you're doing, trying to get me into trouble. That's what you're trying to do. Mm-hmm. Alright, so it's basically 5 minutes to the end of stream time, so I'm just gonna play this, see what we have. Well, so that we don't look like we have a floating torso in the air, let's just insert that next keyframe. And then after I finish with these roughs, I will do the inks. And I've been okay, and so I think that's looking good. I'm gonna continue to work on it. I'm gonna take these last 3 minutes to show you guys the progress of the portrait. It hasn't really gotten further than you saw it last time, but I really wanted to work on the animation today. Just letting you guys know that Paintable's 1 week portrait is up for, I think it's up until tomorrow. Let me check. I actually have the tab. Yeah, I believe it's up until tomorrow, and then he's going to take it down until the next one. But it's really, really good. My portrait skills have definitely improved. And give me a second, I'll show you guys. So I'm gonna transition. So there we go. And let me turn that off so you guys can see where it's coming from. So we went from a geometric sketch to a more detailed sketch. And then from the more detailed sketch, we, in hard edges, roughed out the midtones, the darker, the shadows, and the highlights. And now I'm at the rendering stage. After rendering, we add details, and then it's style and texture, which I haven't watched yet. So that's where I'm at. I'm still at rendering because I didn't really understand the video this first time, and I think I should put some effort into that. Thank you. So that's where I am right now. And Paintable is a really good is a really good resource in terms of learning how to improve your art. He does give you a lot of tools, and his teaching style is really good to understand. So that's another thing you guys can look into. It's not only the 1 week portrait challenge, he frequently has videos online that help you learn how to improve your art. And I'm actually getting ready to get some stuff from the beginning of the year and put them next to the stuff from the end of the year to see exactly where I'm coming from in terms of this year, to see what I improved on and to plan what I can improve on for next year. So we'll see what that's going. Just letting you guys know again, just in case there's anybody watching from Jamaica, the Kingston Creative Art Walk Animation Showcase is tomorrow, and they will be showing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 Jamaican animations by 7 Jamaican companies. So you have Agwe by Ina Sotirova, and I worked on that one, yay! You'll have Abiku and the Maroons by Night Vision Media. I know who worked on that one. Kina Sky, Tale of Shadows by... Kina Sky and Tale of Shadows, those are two different things, by Coretta Single. Restaurant Fuss and Ideas by Kmar McInnes. You will have Dinosaurs for Kids, Stoplight Hustle, and The Passenger by Robert Reed, and you'll have Pigeon School by Nicholas Wellington, and last but not least, you guys hear me talk about this all the time, Cam Cam by Listen Me Caribbean. So those are the Jamaican animations that are being showcased tomorrow. There'll be Jamaican films as well, but I know myself, I'm not going much further than the animation section. So that's basically where we are right now, and I'll see you guys next week or during the week. I'm going to switch back to the animation now. And you guys can watch that as I shut down. Guys, thanks for coming, thanks for supporting, I really appreciate it. And yay. There we go. So that's what we accomplished for today. Pari's rough. Hey, we did what we said we were gonna do. Hee hee.